All right, I will. Good morning, everyone. I will call to order the Yamhill County Board of Commissioners formal session for October 10th, 2024. It is 10 o'clock in the morning. And I will go ahead and lead us all in the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag,
the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, calendar session. Anything to add to the calendar for next week?
We've got a couple of things. We've got Back the Blue in Mac on Saturday, Newburgh on Sunday. And we're going to be sending you the details at Civic Plaza and Memorial Park. And you guys have something else?
Yeah, I forgot the McMinnville one. I need to do that. Yes. So 7 to 10 is McMinnville Fire Pancake Feed on Sunday. And noon to 1-ish is the ropes team demonstration out at Willamina. But I'll send the Back the Blue for McMinnville.
I've got those. I sent it, they didn't get through, so don't worry about those.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
okay. So that's for this weekend. Anything for next week? Where is the county? We're open on Monday. Yeah. Oh, did we have the ODOT ribbon cutting? I think we added that. Yeah. Okay.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. Anything else to add to the calendar? All right. Item D is public comment. This time period is reserved for public comment on any topic other than an agenda item, a quasi judicial land use matter, or a topic scheduled for a public hearing. It looks like I do have one. Public comment, Steve Howard. Welcome, Steve, if you want to come forward. And if you could just give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Steve Howard. Address is 7825 Northeast Highway 240, Yamhill, Oregon.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you. I have a few questions, actually 2 questions on election integrity. My first question has to do with the general distrust in the population of vote tally machines. And I understand that our clerk does an amazing job out with the elections, but there are people out there who are worried about the closed circuit TV. Don't see enough, you really can't see what's going on. So my request of the board is that you consider in budgetary discussions or an emergency budget, putting in more high definition cameras, perhaps maybe even a large screen TV, so we can have a larger view when we're observing the elections of what's going on. That way, at least it will alleviate some of the questions instead of just having 4 or 6 small screens on one big TV. That will address some of the concerns about not being able to see what's going on. So I'd like the board to consider that as far as maybe next election. I know it's too late in the cycle now to do anything at the clerk's office, but I would appreciate that consideration. Second of all, as we've all read in the news, we've seen increasing illegal aliens or undocumented or questionable voters turn up in the Oregon records. And I'm concerned about that because the number keeps creeping up. And I'm wondering what we can do here as a county. I know we have really no power over the state, but what we can do at the county level as far as making sure that doesn't affect our elections here locally. So I don't know if that's something that you can address at a later time. I don't have any solution at the moment other than perhaps getting access to records that I will never get access to. So I would like that consideration also.
I can speak generally. I have tried to sort of remove myself from being the direct liaison to the clerk for obvious reasons. I'm the only one on the ballot. So I have advised her that if she needs anything, that she can go through Commissioner Starrett or our county administrator. So those have sort of been her direct lines of communication if there's something that's needed. But I know that the county clerks across the whole state have been meeting constantly to try and triage what's been happening and figure out what's on our rolls and how she can identify those individuals. I have not heard anything more specific than that, but like I said, I'm trying for reasons of just staying above board and accountability and transparency. I'm sort of trying to keep myself out of it just because I'm on the ballot.
Understand.
I did see that the governor, I think she suspended Oregon motor voter, which is pretty significant. That tells me that there is a larger concern of a problem. So I'm not sure, commissioners, if you've heard any more specific updates.
I know that our clerk did reach out as soon as I believe she sent an email to all of us, as soon as she realized and was told that there had been this, obviously it came to light that there were these irregularities at the state level. She then looked at the numbers in the county and she came up with a count. Now, Representative Anna Scharf had just been in a meeting with members of the legislature that were talking about this very issue. And they were told at the elections at Secretary of State's office, they didn't know how many, and they didn't know how many specifically per county. But that's contrary to what our clerk came up with, which was actual hard number. So we shared that with Representative Scharf, and she felt that she'd been kept in the dark a little bit because they were saying there was no such count countywide. And that's why, once again, it's a really good reflection on our clerk, Carrie Hinton, for not only being one step ahead, but also getting this information out to us. We know that, at least, just personally, when this motor voter thing was passed, it was sort of a question of not when, not if, but when. And so it's not a surprise that we're seeing folks that have registered or been registered that are not eligible. So I think at this point, it might be a good idea to have our clerk come if she can. I know she's very busy, and come next week and give us an update on where we are. Your larger question about the machines, the tallying the machines, all of that, I hear you. And unfortunately, I feel that because we're bound by what the state of Oregon has put in place, we don't have the autonomy to do things differently. That being said, clerks around the state are, they're just really struggling with some of the, ranked choice voting, what that would do, some of the budgetary issues, which are really concerning, and frankly, some of the hostility that they're seeing, not only from folks who are questioning, and that's understandable, but also from candidates. So we're trying to keep an eye on that. It might be good for her to come and speak to those questions directly.
Yes. May I make another comment?
Yes.
I am personally have no issues with the vote tally machines here. I have been involved with looking at those for 4 years now. And I understand the HART systems pretty well. I have worked with 2 county clerks in conjunction with that. So my questioning is not there. But I do have heard from electors who are very concerned because of the news cycles and everything else. And I would like to make sure that our county clerk is not being accused of not being transparent with the elections. She's doing the best she can with what she has. She's in a very small building and she's trying to accommodate everybody she can. I understand that. What I'm asking is that you make things more visible in the space that she has. I don't question what she does. I don't well, I do, but I talk to her about it. But I don't question the elections. I don't question how she runs the elections. But I want to make sure that the electors that I speak to have something that they can refer to, something that they can come back to me with, and other than complaints and, election fraud. So that's my position. I just want to make sure that it takes some of the pressure off of her. It also adds the transparency to the electors. And that's what's behind my basic request. As far as the undocumented or questionable voters, that was withheld, if I understand correctly, from the Secretary of State by the DMV for almost a month. And the resulting investigation found that there were questionable practices as far as accepting documentation at the DMV as far as citizenship or addressing the requirements of citizenship, which is a huge concern given the amount of people the DMV sees every day. So I guess that's my point.
And I would imagine it's further complicated if they're doing it with 16-year-olds and pre-registering them to then flip them onto the rolls and when they turn 18. So
Mhm.
I would imagine they're going to be looking at that practice, hopefully,
Yeah.
re-examining that too.
Yeah, it is. They show up on the voter records as inactive,
Mhm.
but it gets very confusing as they start to activate during the months. You wonder where these people are coming from, but that's neither here or there.
Well, maybe if Carrie can do it next week, we can schedule her to just come and give us a brief overview, answer some of your questions. I don't know if it's possible to get a big screen over there for this election. That would be a tough question for, I don't know if that's even possible for this election, but
I think it would be very disruptive to what she's doing over there now.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to obviously make things any more difficult, but I understand those, it's kind of hard to see that. And, but I will say, having been involved in a hand recount of a race that I was in, the way that was run, and this was prior to our clerk, it was so above board and so well, it was just so well executed that nobody could really question what was going on because there were so many eyes and so many different checks and balances. And that's what goes on to this day. So fortunately, in this county, we have that assurance.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Do you
Steve.
want to reach out to her, maybe Ken, and just see what her availability is?
Thank you. Thanks,
I
Steve.
think next week we're supposed to get an update from the assessor. Did you want us to adjust that calendar or and see if Carrie's available and
And I'll just add her on to the.
Yeah, maybe
front
just
end.
add her. I don't think it'll be long. I think just be a few,
Mhm.
a couple of minutes to go over some of these particular concerns and maybe reference the email she sent to the Board of Commissioners a few weeks back. So I don't see a problem just adding her.
Okay.
Is there anything that I need to provide as far as questions, or will that be already in the?
I don't think so. I mean, we can let her know that to watch your testimony from today
Right.
to understand what your concerns are.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you
Okay.
coming down.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Hey, is there any other public testimony, either in the audience or online? And if you're online, please raise your virtual hand. Okay, seeing none, we will move on to our department update. There's nothing today. Nothing under the work session, nothing under consent agenda. Item H, old business. H1 is consideration of approval of a board order in the matter of upholding the planning director's decision to approve planning docket SDR-13-24, a site design review for tax lot number R3521010000. And the applicant was HOB Oregon LLC. This is continued from September 26th of 2024. I will move approval. Is there any discussion?
None.
None.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. Item I, other business. I1 is consideration to authorize Yamhill County Youth Services to apply for a 2024-25 CIS Public Safety Grant to be used as reimbursement for the purchase of the Tech 48 Intercept whole body scanner. And this is the body scanner, the new one that we approved not too long ago for our juvenile detention facility. And this is a $5,000 grant from CIS that can be applied towards the purchase price. So I will move approval. Any further discussion?
None.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Great, motion passes. Thank you very much. That was all we had for other business. There's no public hearings today. And announcements, I just have a really quick one. Commissioner Johnston and I were able to attend the surprise for Amity High School's CTE director, John Stearns. He is one of 25 winners nationwide of the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Awards. So that's a $50,000 award. And I think 35 of it goes towards the school and 15 of it actually goes to him personally. So that's pretty cool. He was very surprised. We had a room full of students that are in his program, and he walked in the door and he was shocked. Lots of tears too. He's very proud of what he does. So congratulations to him. And I think that was all I had for announcements. Anything else?
I just wanted to add, a number of weeks ago, our HHS Health and Human Services Director, Lindsay Manfred, came to give us the annual commissioners update. And Commissioner Johnston, you had a question about some of the numbers. It was a one-page presentation. It was a short presentation, and we were able to ask her a number of questions about some of the specific programs. And one of the questions that Commissioner Johnston asked was, are the numbers that are reflected here, whether it's adult behavioral health, youth behavioral health, crisis, public health, any of those, are any of those numbers duplicated people in a number of services? So the email came from Director Manfred and said, this is regarding the numbers of people served. Could they include duplicate people? And what that total was is a minus 1,800. So thank you for your question. And I always appreciate the board drilling down on some of these larger issues. There was a reduction of 1,800 as was cited in that one pager. So keep asking the good questions and appreciate Director Manfred for coming up with all that detail. It's probably really difficult when you're treating thousands of different services. So.
Great, thank you. Any further questions? Or sorry, announcements?
None.
Okay. If that is everything for the good of the order, I will adjourn the Yamhill County Board of Directors formal session for October 10th, 2024. It is only 10:19.
Wow.